Hi.
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 Hi. I'm Rexy Pukinikin.
I'm Rexy Pukinikin.
I'm Rexy Pukinikin. And we're balling. And we're balling.
And we're balling.
Today. Tomorrow.
And maybe yesterday.
At what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost? Woo!
All right. Hey guys, we're just gonna jump into it just like this. Straight into the podcast today. I got a ridiculous freaking bomber jacket on. I don't know what's going on today. It's been a weird day. It's been a weird week for me. But lots of things has happened in the sports world. I guess lots of weird things too, not so usual things happen in the sports world. So let's just get straight into it. The usual sports, a couple of them, I say NFL, I guess regular week, finally we got to halfway through the regular season. F1, I mean, everything's been decided already. That's no problem, but we got a Brazilian GP coming up, which is amazing. Everybody likes that circuit. Everybody enjoys that circuit. It's a very competitive circuit. What else? We got UFC 281 this weekend. Wow. Beautiful. Exquisite. In Madison Square Garden, New York. Fireworks all over that event, And then finally, NBA. NBA's NBA. I'll just say that. I like basketball, but I don't know if I can like the NBA that much. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, but I'll get into that. Anyways, truly, we are finally halfway through the regular season of the NFL. Very interesting. I've seen a couple of screenshots of playoff pictures, and I think currently it's looking like Bills or one of those guys. They're gonna do really well. They're probably gonna be or the Eagles. It's not like I'm telling you this week that Eagles took their first L. No, they took another win. So they're still dominating like crazy. But if we want to talk about domination, well, Jesus Christ, did Joe Mixon go on a tear. Bengals played the Carolina Panthers the past week in Week 9. And to be honest, I don't know if Bengals have necessarily fixed all their problems that they're struggling with. But Joe Mixon definitely did his part that game, to say the least. Joe Mixon, 5 fucking touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. And I would... I usually like to celebrate these things, great, wonderful. I love when an athlete just puts on a brilliant performance. But Jesus, why does it always have to be so that I suffer? Why? This week in fantasy football, I thought I was chilling, yo. I really thought I was chilling because the first half, Devontae Adams was going off for once. He was going off. He was fucking catching balls left and right. Derek Carr was finally throwing him some good freaking balls. But then I look on my matchup in the fantasy app. I'm like, hey, yo, what's my matchup looking like? And there it is. Joe Mixon. I'm matched up against Joe Mixon. I'm matched up against the guy who has Joe Mixon. So it's like, wow. I was watching the Bengals game. I was like, yo, Joe Mixon's crazy right now. But that just means I'm getting destroyed. So okay, yeah. All right. Let's just I got to tip that. 5 touchdowns is crazy. Because I know, like, on just generally on social media, if someone gets 3 touchdowns, they're already like all over sports media is just gonna report on, oh my god, look at him, he went off, he had 3 touchdowns. But Joe Mixon 5 touchdowns. Let's just pull it out here. Let's see. He had 1 running touchdown, 2 running touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, 3rd rushing touchdown. Damn. Jesus. That is so much. So he ended up scoring 4 running touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. Yeah. They Panthers, they couldn't figure out what Joe Mixon was going to do that night. They really couldn't. And honestly, I actually have to tip this to the Panthers too. They were down like a lot. I'm pretty sure they were, they didn't end up scoring a touchdown until the second half, the third quarter. So, Bengals were up, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they were up 4 touchdowns, which is 4 times 7, technically, right? Let's just assume, because I can't remember all the details of that. 4 times 7, fucking 28. Sorry, that might have taken a little too long. Sorry, math was my worst subject. 28. Yeah, they were up at 28 points, and Panthers pulled it back to 21. I mean, the game ended with Panthers scoring 21. I almost want to tip that. Like, I almost don't want to just, like, ignore that. Like, that's something. That's definitely something, Because usually when you get beat that hard, it's just like you can't really adapt to it, and then you just keep on losing that hard. But there you go. Great, good. I mean, Carolina, you're like 2-7, but like, yeah. And now Bengals they have a positive record. Isn't that amazing? They got a positive record. So yeah, absolutely. But that was if we're talking about player performances the past week, that's pretty much it. Joe Mixon just he just went off. And on to a little bit hardening news that is hard to swallow, in my opinion. Like, I can't really take this in, but I gotta. And I watched the game, and I have to, 5 straight losses for the Packers. 5 straight. Joe, not 1, not 2, 3, 4, but 5. 5 losses in a row for the Packers. And geez, Lil Wayne was tweeting about it. He was like, damn, we could have gotten rid of 12 last year, but we didn't. As in, Aaron Rodgers, he's number 12. And yeah, I just, I will take the criticism now, to be honest. I will take because I think at the start of the season, I was like, yo, guys, just chill. Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't have any help right now. Just chill, guys. Like, it's fine. All's good. But after this Detroit Lions game, I was like, damn. Aaron Rodgers should be able to do something. But it just doesn't look that way at all right now. It kind of feels like he's lost. He doesn't really know what to do right now. I don't know if he's lost it, kind of just declined physically somehow, or it's just he something with the play call, something. He just can't find a receiver right now, and he can't read the defenses well enough right now. I don't know what's going on. And it's not looking good for the Packers. The Packers currently, let's see here. Packers are, I know they're doing not so good at all, but I don't know how bad. Let's see. Yo. Okay, they're 3-6, which is bad. So they were, before they went on this losing streak, they were 3-1. Yeah, they were 3-1. And then they're 3-6 now. Jeez. But, luckily for them, NFC North, right, is not... Yeah, that was bad. I don't know. Either way, it looks bad because Detroit Lions are in the same division as they are, and Detroit Lions were 1-6 coming into this matchup against the Packers, and they still ended up taking a dub, and they're 2-6 now. Yeah, let's just I don't know. Let's just forget about this season with the Packers. I don't know. It would be really cap of me to say, like, really dick riding if I just said, like, yo, no, watch them turn around. But I just don't think they... And, like, trade deadline went past last weekend. I talked about this, and Packers were one of the only teams where they really need, like, a certain type of player, which is a wide receiver, and they didn't end up doing anything about it. So it's kind of just like Packers are just in a bit of a hole right now, and I think it's only gonna take it's gonna have to take the off season for them to regain fully, at least. That's just my opinion, and I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. I really do. Like I really think that if it gets worse for the Packers, like if they don't make any kind of bounce back, then fucking Aaron Rodgers might be out. Because he was, I swear, the media, sports media is relentless. So, I mean, last year, it got pretty damn close to that man wanting to retire already, after all the corona vaccine controversy. Or mess. Not even controversy, just a fucking mess. Yeah. Just let's just pray for the Packers out. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. They gotta get a wide receiver and regain. Anyways, talking about some staff, some management stuff. Colts head coach Frank Reich fired after Colts get pummeled by the Patriots this past weekend. It was not good. I had my boys over to watch Sunday Night Football. Two of them are big-ass Colts fans, and no, it did not. It was not the nicest thing to view. Let's see. So we had Patriots that the defense just went absolutely berserk and pretty much just went through the Colts offense and ended up winning the game 26-3. So, correct. I am very accurate in saying that they did genuinely get pummeled by the Patriots. I think the Colts offense is just chalked. It's just really not so, and I don't think it's Matt Ryan's fault either. Trust me. I think Matt Ryan is a pretty decent quarterback. Like, I had this opinion last year, his last season with the Falcons last year. I think he was playing out of his mind with what he had, He was genuinely doing, like, a lot. I guess the head coach getting fired. definitely is going to bring a change. I don't know how much it's going to improve their stuff, but I mean, and like I swear Colts have been like, at least in recent times, they've just had horrible quarterbacks. Like I like Matt Ryan, but before that, I don't like since Andrew Luck was that his name? Yeah, something Luck. I forgot if it was Andrew Luck, but before Luck, yeah, they never had a really decent quarterback since. So it's just like, Colts have been kind of just struggling this whole time. So I guess what's the most like not erratic, but the most biggest decision you can make that can have a lot of change, then it's getting rid of the head coach, and that's what the Colts did. And let's just see how it changes up from now. And Jonathan Taylor is healthy for next week, so yeah. And it's such a shame that Jonathan Taylor hasn't done what he did last season. Like, he was projected to genuinely be like the top fantasy point scorer, top rushing yards score, but he's been getting a little hurt this season. So let's see if Jonathan Taylor and a new interim head coach can do a little something to help out Matt Ryan right now and the Colts fans. But it's just like, you've heard from the other episodes, Colts is like, yeah, whatever. Colts are Colts. Yeah. Other than Pat McAfee, I don't really care about Colts. Yeah. Eagles. Yeah. So just to report, I feel like I can't report on the Eagles every week because that's just cheese. But I gotta mention the Eagles now. They're 8-0. That means they've gone through half of the season without losing. And I saw an interesting stat where it says 28 teams in the history of the NFL have started 8-0. And 15 of those 28 teams made the Super Bowl. And 8 of those 28 teams won the Super Bowl. So it's going to be very interesting. I think now, even when the Eagles, if they do lose, it's not going to be that big of like even if it is some crazy upset, I don't think, of course, if they lose, it's going to be an upset now. But I feel like even if the upset is big, I don't think it's going to phase them. It just means they got caught on a bad day. But yeah, I mean, if 28 teams went 8-0 and only 8 of them won the Super Bowl, I mean, the odds are not in your favor. But we kind of have to see the Eagles just go up against something like, or like go back to back against some like heavyweights or some just really good teams. And I think we can formulate a bigger opinion on if they're going to just run through everybody for the rest of the year and just fucking take the Super Bowl win. I definitely want to see them at the Super Bowl. I expected to see them at the Super Bowl because, when you start off this hot, it's just a complete choke then if you somehow mess it up in the postseason. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts, keep on doing your thing. A.J. Brown balling out. Devontae Smith, I like. Jason Kelsey, all of those guys. They've been balling out there in Philly. So, I think the Eagles, why not? Eagles can go the whole regular season without losing. Why not? They've genuinely got a lot of stuff figured out. So, and they played perfectly. Let's see. Let's actually see last week. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like that's the game. That's like that yawn is like how, watching Eagles games are like this season, because it's like they're gonna win anyway. It's almost a little bit boring. But yeah, they just went against the Texans, ran through them, and I think Eagles have been pretty much running through everyone, except no, yeah, actually, yeah, that's the thing. Houston Texans, they were actually up. I think they were like up 17-0 or something against the Eagles. Actually, let's check that. Let's see if this loads here. Flacosito. Yeah, so I can't. Actually, okay, I'm capping. I am capping a little bit. But I wasn't wrong when I said that the Houston Texans were up to begin with. But I don't know. Just mentioning that comes to show. I think it was another game. I don't think I'm remembering wrong. But yeah, I think the Eagles just got everything sorted out. Even when it might get a little bit tough, they just overcome it easily and they don't freak out or panic about it. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And if we're talking about something that's beautiful, I mean, Jesus, the GOAT is back. The GOAT, the greatest of all time, is back. Tom Brady's back. TB12 is back. She belonged to the streets. First one to 100K passing yards. New record broken. New record to be broken in the history books. I'm telling you, this guy's a freaking savage. I don't think, people are riding, like, I wrote him off. But look, see, that's the thing. Every time when the whole world kicks this guy down the most, right? This is when he does the most. This is when he achieves the most, right? This is why he's the GOAT. Because he gets divorced, and then even like last week, I told you guys it's chalked. Or the week before that, I told you guys it's chalked. He's going through a divorce, it's chalked. Nah, dude. Now he just said, for that, B, I can ball the fuck out. It's like, yo, it's literally the title of my podcast. Ballin'. But at what cost? What cost? The cost. You lost the kids. You lost the wife. But how hard are you balling now? How hard are you fucking balling now, Tom Brady? 40 seconds left. No timeouts against the Rams, the best defense in the league. What does this man do? What does this man do? He fucking wins the game. He wins the game. Goes on one of the best literally probably top 10 drives of his life. I'm not even kidding. Dude. No timeouts. That just makes it so much more insane. This guy was celebrating post game press conference. He said it himself explicitly. That felt fucking good. Amen. I know why that felt good, man. I know, because you were wondering, at what cost? At what cost do you ball? And now he saw the cost of balling, and he balled. And that feels fucking good. So Tom Brady, you're the GOAT. I'm never gonna fucking doubt you again in my life. I just said it was kind of chalk for Buccaneers. I didn't say it was chalk for Tom Brady, okay? So, yeah, I don't know. Let's just see a little bit where the Buccaneers stand on the. So they're still they're tied up with Falcons for number one in the NFC South. So they have a very legitimate chance. I think they just have to outperform the Falcons for the rest of the season, and then they can make the playoffs easily. And I don't know. I just feel like the Bucs offense is just a little bit iffy right now. I feel like, Mike Evans is trying to do his best thing, or Chris Godwin. I don't know if Godwin is even in there anymore. And Fournette has been struggling. I think Fournette played much better last year because he had the very good. I don't think teams figured out his his way of playing very hybrid of running back, but also wide receiver, or a running back that could catch a ball. But yeah, I think they're actually nothing to stress about. I was just, if I said anything bad about Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's like maybe they just won't win the Super Bowl. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Next topic. And this is a little what to watch for in week 10, because I got to get you guys hyped up for the next week, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what I wrote down, man. All right, so we got a very, very good matchup this next week that everybody is going to have their eyes on. It's the Bills versus Vikings game. We have Kirk Thuggins. There was a video of this man, Instagram live of this man with the teammates on the PJ getting fucking crunk lit. We in this bitch, yeah. He was rocking all the chains from all his teammates, and he was literally just iced completely up. 2 freaking, bust down watches on both wrists, He was just clowning, and he was just, they were just having a good time, those Viking boys. They took a huge win against, I wouldn't say huge win, but, they took a win against the Commanders, and the Commanders were, hey, man, like I said last week, Taylor Heineke, he's got that potential. And, Vikings beat them 20-17. So, Commanders weren't far off. I'm telling you, if it was Carson Wentz, then it would be 20-3 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So, Vikings were getting crunk lit, and Kirk Cousins is getting lit. We have Josh Allen right now in concussion protocol, which sucks a lot, because what that pretty much does is make it into a matchup that's not as competitive. I think the Bills have a lot of great players, so they don't purely depend on Josh Allen. Like Stephon Diggs can catch a ball from whoever. I just think you get the most out of Stephon Diggs and his skill set when Josh Allen is throwing the ball. But, I think even with, let's say, without Josh Allen, if he's in concussion protocol still on Sunday, I still think it's going to be very competitive. But, currently, Vikings have a better record than the Bills, and Vikings are, I think, in most power rankings still better than the Bills, which I'm a little bit iffy about, because I really do think the Bills are really scary, just because they have such a crazy balance of who's good offensively and who's good defensively. But yeah, it's gonna, if the Bills lose, everybody's gonna say it's because Josh Allen wasn't playing, and the Vikings took an easy win. But if Josh Allen isn't playing and the Bills beat the Vikings, then we really know who's running the league, or who's on top of the league. And if Josh Allen plays, then it's going to be so 50-50, in my opinion. It's going to be really you can bet either. I have no I do not want to make a call. Yeah. So, but I'll tell you what though, if Josh Allen plays, I'm calling the Bills to win. Anyway, the next one is Lions versus Bears. The next matchup, I think, could be very, very interesting. We're talking about NFC North matchup. Chicago Bears are 3-6 and Detroit Lions are 2-6. And the reason I included this was because both teams have started off really bad, but now I feel like they're in that time of the regular season where they can start really making significant improvements. I don't think there is a doubt in my mind I can say this with confidence. The Bears have improved. They've definitely improved. Last week, let's pull this out. Last week they played the freaking last week they played the Dolphins, right? And you know how good the Dolphins are with Waddle and Tyreek Hill, but I mean that was kind of down to the wire. Dolphins only beat them 35-32. I think the Bears are definitely making improvement because I think they took a L in week 8, but then they ended up taking a dub. Yeah. And week 8 they went against the Cowboys, which they're really legit. But week 7 was the last time they took a win, and yeah, they played against the Patriots. Right? Like, think about it. That offense was somehow able to overcome the Patriots defense, and I just told you about how legitimate the Patriots defense is. So I think the Bears is a really good matchup, and Lions just are coming fresh off of a win against the Packers, so they've definitely picked up that momentum as well. And I just think it's going to be really competitive. And, I always like to mention a little, matchup that's within the same division. So NFC North matchup, let's see who does better. We got, rookie Justin Fields versus a veteran who's been to the Super Bowl, Jared Goff. I think it's going to be really competitive. I just think it's going to be a good game to watch. Anyways, next matchup, I think everyone should pay attention to, and I'm just gonna say this out here because how the fuck am I not gonna talk about this in a podcast? Broncos versus Titans. I don't even know. I don't even need to say what but you guys know what I'm about to say. I think the Broncos have a very, very legitimate chance on upsetting the Titans. Broncos had a bye week last week, so they were out. But the last time they played, they went in London and they beat the Jaguars. So the last time they played, they've won. I see a lot of holes in the Titans game where Broncos can take advantage of. Personally, you can see that Russell Wilson is gaining more and more confidence just flinging out the ball. When he played against the Jaguars, I think I recapped it, but it's just either he was doing his OG shit like running and getting the first down or escaping the pocket, rushing, gaining a few yards, or he was not scared to just tell his wide receiver, just go deep. I'm going to fling that motherfucker for you. All right? And I don't even know what the fuck is so good about the Titans. I seriously don't think I've actually watched a Titans game in itself this whole season. And I don't think I will. I don't really care about the Titans anymore. I only cared about the Titans when they had A.J. Brown because I thought A.J. Brown was like a really lit wide receiver. They got rid of A.J. Brown. Derrick Henry isn't King Henry anymore. He's just Derrick Henry. And I never liked Ryan Tannehill either. They had way too much praise for Tannehill, truly. And they're 5-3. I guess that looks pretty decent. But, yeah. I just think Broncos can definitely do a little something. So, and I mean, Titans are in a horrible. I mean, they're first in AFC South, but AFC South is absolute dog shit. And Broncos, they're in AFC West against Chargers and the Chiefs, so it's never gonna be easy. It's definitely never gonna be easy. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that Russell Wilson, Broncos country. Let's ride. We're gonna take that dub. Easy. And yeah. And this last matchup, I just wanted to put it out there just because I'm going to say Packers have a chance on upsetting. The Packers have a legitimate chance on upsetting against the Cowboys. I know this is the wildest take I've had probably ever. We have the Cowboys, and they're freaking somewhere up here like crazy. Dallas Cowboys 6-2, right below the Philadelphia Eagles. They're 6-2, right? That's pretty impressive. This is one of the best seasons they've had in recent years, and I really think Packers have to win this. I think the Packers got to win this. I think if Packers don't win this, Aaron Rodgers is you're pushing him to the edge of the line when it comes to freaking, finally retiring. Yeah, if he takes they lost 5 times in a row. Yeah, okay. If he takes that 6th loss in a row, I don't know. It might be the end of Aaron Rodgers' career. Like, he just might say, "Fuck this." Why am I troubling myself with this? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my little take, and I am fucking gonna put the money down, just because I love that man so much, and I want positive things for Aaron Rodgers. I don't want negative things for Aaron Rodgers, and Cowboys. I don't think Cowboys played last week either. So, they might be a little cold. I know it's hypocritical of me because I could make that take with the Broncos. They had the bye week last week. They might be a little cold, but I don't give Frenchman's fuck, okay? I believe. That's all it takes. I believe. All right, I believe in Aaron Rodgers. I like Packers. I like cheese. You know what I'm saying? So, let's make that upset happen, all right, Aaron Rodgers, and then maybe the whole world won't shit on you, okay? But that's all I had to say about NFL. I think that's one of the longest sections I've done with NFL. It wasn't even like a hectic week, but I just kept on talking, you know what I'm saying? But let's just jump straight into F1. We have Brazil. Like I said, one of the best circuits there is in the season. Too bad it's not going to make a change in the standings or anything, because that's all decided. However, it's just going to be much more awesome because not only is it a sprint race weekend, so they actually do a mini race on Saturday for qualifying, and then they do the proper race on Sunday, but they also have rain in Brazil the whole weekend. And I know before it was like whenever it rains, it's awesome, right? But after this season, it's looking a lot like when it rains, it sucks a lot because the FIA don't know how to handle themselves. I feel like somehow FIA and like everyone, they're just like, they're so tight on money now, which is ridiculous because shouldn't they be balling out? Like, shouldn't the whole isn't that the whole F1 world? They're just ballers, straight ballers. Before Drive to Survive, before that Netflix show, the only people that watched F1 were these bougie-ass motherfuckers who enjoyed the luxury that came with all of that. I mean, think about it. Ferrari is the biggest brand in F1. Ferrari, right? And it's because most people that watch F1, they're also like, damn, okay, I might as well just buy one because Michael Schumacher just won with it so many times, So, but anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. But right now, I think it would be great if Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're only getting light rain. That would be great. But, I mean, Brazil is damn close to being a tropical country. I mean, it is pretty much, right? The fucking Amazon's right there, right? So it would be nice if it rains, it drizzles, but if it starts pouring again, all we're going to get the whole weekend is session delayed, which I am so not down for because it already starts late enough here in Europe, and I don't want to stay up any longer than I have to. All right? But going into Brazil, let's just talk a little bit about Sir Lewis Hamilton. Has been made an honorary Brazilian citizen. Basically, this just further supports my hypothesis that Lewis Hamilton's gonna win this race. And I think it's even better if it rains because every time it rains, at least it evens up the it evens up the playing field, the race field. I don't know, some kind of fields of Brazil. But yeah, I think rain's just gonna help. Lewis Hamilton's first win in his career was in the rain, I think. And if that's incorrect, then I know one of his best wins ever in his career was in the rain when he won in I think it was 2007 Silverstone in the UK. So of course nowadays we rave about how good Max Verstappen is in the rain. That's kind of one of the reasons why he got so praised to begin with after that 2016 Brazilian GP where it was raining and he dominated and just it was a wet weather racing masterclass. But I think if it's gonna rain, it's just gonna give Lewis Hamilton a better chance. And I mean, he's already pretty much a favorite to win this race, just out of pure superstition. Pretty much, it's just pure superstition. Like Lewis Hamilton does well in Brazil, so he's just gonna win this. So I believe it. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Not much else I can really say about Guan Yu Zhou. Fastest lap again in the wet. Why not? He got the fastest lap in Suzuka when it was wet. Why not? He can do it in Brazil again. If he does it in Brazil, then that's gonna turn a lot of eyes, and I think that would be pretty crazy. I'm just throwing it out there. Chances of that happening, probably slim to none, but I'm just throwing it out there. Why not? Have some fun with it. But that's all I had to say about F1. I think it's great that we're going to have a sprint race in F1 or in Brazil. It worked out a lot last year. I think it just made the weekend much more interesting, and now it's going to happen again. So wonderful. I don't mind that at all. All right. We're getting into UFC 281 now, and I'm so excited for this event. It's an MSG. It's a great fucking vibe in MSG. It really is. Madison Square Garden. They really know how the crowd knows how to have a good time there. There's gonna be plenty big ballers there. Every time there's these big events, big UFC events, I'm also excited to see what kind of celebrities they're watching, because I think it's very I think there's some beauty about combat sports where really you can enjoy the frick out of it. you really see the art of it if you're seeing it live. And the more and I think the fact that celebrities watch it and all that, I think it just comes to show how much of an art it is, how far it is actually from violence. It's very rarely now do you have MMA matches where it's just pure anger and violence. No, it's this art of you trying to slip a punch and set up a kick and defending a takedown, so it's just awesome to see that. Just going to mention the names that I know about and want to know about during the 281. Molly McCann, Meatball Molly. Obviously, Patty the Baddie's right-hand woman. She's currently 15th in the flyweight division. But I really think that if she's able to beat this opponent of hers, let me dig it out real quick. And actually, she's in the prelims too. But if Meatball Molly can beat Erin Blanchfield, I think she's gonna be automatically rocketed to the top 5 of the women's flyweight division. I think right now, even though over here, odds-wise, we're betting odds are heavily favoring the opponent, Erin Blanchfield. I think Molly McCann, Meatball Molly, has a very, very good chance of winning this, and I guess getting that underdog win. She is currently on a 3-fight win streak, and a very impressive one too. The way that she's gone on this 3-fight win streak, she's gotten a finish on 2 of them, and I think this might be all hype, but I genuinely think she might have tapped into another level, and I think it really makes sense too, because now she understands how important it is to win, especially when she's gained that traction from social media. So I think the more fans you have, it really, really does motivate you, because you're like, okay, well, a loss is just gonna hurt my whatever traction I have everywhere else in her career. If she takes the L, there's too much to lose. So I think she just has to go out there and be really, really aggressive. And I think Meatball Molly has to go for the finish too. I think if it goes to decision, then it might go to Erin Blanchfield. But yes, that's my take. That's the only fight in the prelims that I'm gonna talk about, because I do not know about all the other motherfuckers. Let's see what else. Dan Hooker. I freaking love Dan Hooker. I think I would be. You could call me biased. I really do like any fighter coming out of Australia or New Zealand. I fucking love all of them. But I think Dan Hooker is just genuinely one of the baddest motherfuckers there is. And I'm so glad that he's like one of the number one guys in UFC right now who kicks off the main card all the time, I think last three of his fights have all kicked off the main card, which is just like beautiful to see. I think his style of fighting is a brawler. He either just tries to destroy you, or then he might get destroyed. I ain't gonna lie, Dan Hooker's been through a few freaking crazy wars, and sometimes he's come out victorious, sometimes he hasn't. I think it's very important to realize that all the L's that Dan Hooker has taken, it's against the top guys. He has, other than his most recent fight where he lost to Allen, I think, and Allen was just ridiculously aggressive, and that just caught Dan Hooker off guard. I remember the fight. Allen just literally came in swinging and ended up landing, and it just didn't pan out well for Dan Hooker. But if we talk about his losses, he's lost to Islam Makhachev, and then he's lost to Michael Chandler, and then he's lost to Dustin Poirier. Right, so those are top of the food chain guys. But whenever he doesn't fight top of the food chain guys, he always wins those. He lost again against Edson Barboza too, and that was a fucking war where he got praised even though he lost. Everyone was like, "How the hell do you eat all those shots from the most elite and dangerous and scary striker there is out there, which is Edson Barboza?" So right now, I think it's another one of those where Dan Hooker's fucking gonna come in so hot. He's fighting an unranked lightweight, Claudio Puelles from Peru. I have no doubt in my mind that Claudio has definitely some potential. He himself is on, let's see, he's on a 5-win streak, but compared to Dan Hooker, the opponent he's fighting, the opponent's only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights in the UFC before this, and Dan Hooker's been around for a long freaking time. Dan Hooker's been around since like 2013, 2014 in the UFC, so we're really kind of getting one of those veteran versus rookie fights, not to be taken literally, because I wouldn't say Dan Hooker's a veteran and I wouldn't say Claudio Puelles is a rookie, but I just think this fight is one of those where the experience is going to matter, and I think Dan Hooker has a fucking great chance to just go in and put on a show and show him really what's up. And I think every time Dan Hooker's got like his team with him too, like that whole crew coming out of New Zealand, then no doubt in my mind that he's gonna take the dub. All right, next fight. This is a lot of people are saying this is the people's main event. This is gonna be guaranteed fireworks. There is no doubt that this is gonna, and we're talking about Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier. Okay, in the standings right now, I think Dustin is still second or first, and then Michael Chandler is fifth. Okay, yeah, Poirier is second after Charles Oliveira. So pretty much Dustin, yeah, exactly. And Dustin's had the belt before, I think. Yep. And Michael Chandler is fifth. And I think Michael Chandler, every time he's lost, is just because he's fought against monsters. He's lost against Charles Oliveira, and then he lost against Justin Gaethje, I think. But genuinely, we're talking about two American brothers. All right, some U.S. boys that they absolutely know the fact that it is a show. They know for a fact that if they just go in there and brawl the fuck out of each other for those 15 minutes, that's gonna help their freaking bank account way more than just trying to fight scared and trying to go for the win. The win won't matter. The win seriously won't matter. I think it matters a little bit more for Michael Chandler just because, you know, he came from Bellator and he's got a lot of people expect a lot of things from him. Like a lot of people expect Michael Chandler to be challenging for the lightweight belt. It hasn't necessarily gone his way, but like I said, he has gone against literally only top of the top. We all know about him tragically just fucking up Tony Ferguson. That was his latest fight. That was in May. But before that, I mean, he's only had 4 fights in the UFC, but the losses he's taken is against Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. And similar and a lot of people are expecting the Dustin Poirier fight now this weekend to be a lot like the Gaethje fight he had last year, where it's just two guys just beating the fuck out of each other, not caring about who wins, just whoever can stand the tallest at the end, and everybody goes home with a fat check. You know what I'm saying? So I am very, very hyped for this fight. I think a lot of people could agree that this is the fight they want to see, that this UFC 281. And I don't know. I would like to see Michael Chandler win, to be honest. I think Dustin Poirier, I really like Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier is really on top of his game right now. And I really want to try his hot sauce too. It sounds so fire. Louisiana hot sauce, yo. And they just became official hot sauce brand for UFC. I'm just like, that's great to see. Dustin Poirier is all about giving out to charity and all that. But I think I personally would want to see Michael Chandler win, because it kind of proves that he can beat the top level guys. You know, of course, you know, it was really impressive the way he beat Tony Ferguson, but I think a lot of people would agree that Tony Ferguson is on the back heel of his fighting career. So I just would want to see Michael Chandler take this fight win. So I'm gonna say Michael Chandler takes this. But of course, I'm not gonna be mad at all or anything like that if Dustin Poirier wins either. Next one. I kind of have to take back what I said about the Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler fight. I think this next fight is what I'm going to be watching the closest, and we're talking about Zhang Weili, my Chinese sister, versus Carla Esparza for the women's strawweight title. I don't have a doubt in my mind that Zhang Weili might run through Carla. I really think so. I think one of the only reasons why Carla was able to beat Rose last time and get the belt was because Carla was stronger than Rose. Everybody knows that fight was a pretty boring one. And I know for a fact that this definitely won't be. Of course, I know Zhang Weili has been exposed. I was heartbroken. I saw the Rose knockout of Zhang Weili, and that was ridiculous. But I think it's not about how hard you fall. It's about how hard you can get hit and still get up. You know, the Rocky shit. I really think Zhang Weili only came back stronger. She freaking ran through whoever she just ran through her last fight. And I think this is the best opportunity Zhang Weili is gonna have to have a feel for that gold again one more time, you know. And I think this time she can actually defend it properly. Yes, she went against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, you know, and you know, I feel like I mean, she lost twice against Rose. Obviously, I'd say the second loss she took against Rose was a lot more convincing than the first loss, where she just, you know, she was caught slipping. But I truly think right now is the best chance for Zhang Weili to get the title back, and I think it's matchup wise, I don't see a reason why Zhang Weili is gonna lose. I think the only way Zhang Weili could lose is if she gets caught slipping on the ground. But I think that she's that much stronger than Carla as well, that, she can definitely do a lot of damage. I'm personally predicting stoppage in 2 rounds. I really think so. I think she's going to come out firing. Carla Esparza can't keep up with it. Zhang Weili gets the finish. Zhang Weili is super aggressive, super strong, and either Zhang Weili is just going to run through her, or it's going to be some weird 5-round decision to Esparza, which is not going to happen. So Zhang Weili within 2 rounds, and we're bringing gold back to China. So let's fucking go. I'm so fucking ready. We bringing it back. What's how? We bringing it all the way back. And let's go into the main event. So actually, I forgot to mention the strawweight title fight between those ladies. It's the co-main event, and the main event is a crazy one. It is a crazy one. I think this is the most hype that's been built around Israel Adesanya's title defense, and I think it's for a good reason too. Everybody knows about Israel Adesanya's greatness and his title defense run that he's been on right now, and the only loss he has taken is in a different weight division. Everybody knows that too, but he's genuinely defended against his belt through all the killers. It's almost ridiculous. He's just gone against everyone that's been put forth upon him, and he's always played it right. Of course, a lot of people are critical about how he's defended his belt. He's slowed down after the loss, his first loss in his professional career against Jan Blachowicz, but that was like I said, not in the middleweight that he usually is. It was in light heavyweight. Ever since that loss, he hasn't fought the same way. Every time he defended his belt against Vettori, Robert Whittaker, and Cannonier since, and he's not the killer, not the aggressive guy that was before, and he's gotten a lot of criticism from that, and I think that's why a lot of people are counting him out too for this fight. But I really do believe that, even though, yes, the big article is that Alex Pereira, who he's now defending the belt against, Alex Pereira has beat Israel Adesanya twice before, not in the UFC, but back in the day in Chinese promotions in Macau and stuff like that. Alex Pereira has beat Israel Adesanya twice. So in this matchup, Israel Adesanya is down 0-2. So that's where the big hype is built around. However, I really think that Alex Pereira doesn't have the experience. He just doesn't have the experience. And I don't think Alex Pereira is that as freakish as Islam Makhachev, because everybody who was doubting Islam Makhachev to win the lightweight belt, everybody was just saying that, oh, it's just Islam hasn't been against the top tier guys, so how the hell is he gonna beat Charles the Bronx? And I think that's not the case with Alex Pereira. I don't think he is that freakish. He is very good. But Alex Pereira hasn't fought any of the top guys in the middleweight. I don't think Alex Pereira has fought any of the guys that Israel Adesanya has defended the middleweight belt from, Let's see. Yeah, so, and he's only had 3 fights in the UFC. This is his 4th fight. He knocked the hell out of Sean Strickland. That was his last fight. And yes, as impressive as that might be, I don't think Strickland's at the top of his game right now. So I really think, but I think this is Israel Adesanya's biggest challenge so far. It is because Alex Pereira has bragging rights. Alex Pereira physically, matchup-wise, this is the scariest that Israel Adesanya has gone against. And I just think that experience is going to win this fight, and Israel Adesanya has the experience. Israel Adesanya, I don't have a doubt in my mind that Alex Pereira is going to come into this fight trying to freaking take Israel Adesanya's head off, but I wholeheartedly believe that if Alex Pereira comes in with that aggressiveness and that energy, Israel's going to realize, okay, he's for reals. This is different ball game to all the other title defenses, and I'm going to switch back to my old ways and get that killer inside me back too. So either this fight is going to be another Israel Adesanya distance-keeping masterclass, and Israel Adesanya for a fact has a better tank than Alex Pereira. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much Alex Pereira has trained or overtrained or whatever. I think Israel Adesanya just has a better tank because he's literally only been doing title defenses and title fights this whole time pretty much. So it's either going to be one of those decision goes to Adesanya, truthfully, or I think it's going to be those guys brawl out 2-3 rounds. It's done. 2-3 rounds. I won't be that surprised if Alex Pereira catches Israel Adesanya. I'm just sorry. I think there's something about, I have this opinion. There's something about these Brazilians. When they see how close that gold is to being strapped around their waist, they go into another killer instinct level. I'm not saying that Israel Adesanya and his Nigerian heritage couldn't do that, but I'm just saying, these Brazilians, they're maniacs, right? So he is scary. Alex Pereira is very, very scary. There is a very good chance that Israel Adesanya is going to get caught, but I think there is an even better chance that Israel Adesanya responds with the aggressiveness that is put upon him, and he turns it up a notch, And I think he's got it. He has that notch to turn up. He's just, he has been playing it safe, but I have no doubt in my mind that he can't tap into that another level once again. So my shout for this, Israel Adesanya, TKO. No, Israel Adesanya submission in 3 rounds or 4. No, I'm going to say 4th. In the fourth round. That's what I'm calling. Let's see how right I am. I don't know if how accurate my UFC calls have been, because I did call Charles Oliveira would be Islam Makhachev, and I was horribly wrong. But anyways, we live and learn, and that's my take for UFC 281 this weekend. Main event's gonna start at 5 a.m. in the morning, or main card's gonna start at 5 a.m. in the morning on Sunday. So early Sunday for me, but I don't mind a single bit. Anyways, lastly, talk a little bit about the NBA. I've already talked a lot about all the other sports, I feel like longer than usual. So I'm not going to talk that much in detail about NBA. There's still so much kind of like general stuff. And, there's so many games all the time in the NBA. So it's hard to keep up with everything. Just got a couple points here that I want to talk about, though, because Luka Doncic is still the Magic Man. He is still doing things that are unexplainable, and It makes me appreciate the beautiful game of basketball. He has been on a tear starting off this season. He is the only player in the NBA after Wilt Chamberlain to score 30-plus points in the first 7 games. That is really freaking crazy, in my opinion. That is kind of freaking nuts. He is putting up Wilt Chamberlain stats, and we all know about Wilt Chamberlain stats. They're pretty nutty stats. I just hope Dallas Mavericks, they're actually doing surprisingly well. We're talking about the Western Conference standings. They're currently 6th seed. I think they might have to start picking up the pace a little bit. They've taken some questionable L's. For example, they lost to the Magic just last night, and Magic are the second last seed in the East. So games like that, you don't want to see them losing, and they kind of still be losing some of those games. So, I can't say what it's going to be like for the Dallas Mavericks, but, it's great to see Luka isn't slowing down at all, and that's all I need to hear. That's really all I need to hear. Next one. Big ass shotgun, look like Lauri Markkanen. Yo, Jazz are number 1 in the West. Jazz are number 1 in the West. The whole NBA community is going crazy. White boys go to Utah, and they get a smell of that Mormon air, and then suddenly they're a freaking different animal. They're a different animal. Just last night, we had the freaking Jazz beat the Atlanta Hawks with my boy Lauri Markkanen going for where is his stats? Box score. Okay, well, it's not saying his stats right now. It's not saying his points for some reason. Just let me load this a little bit more. 32 points, 8 rebounds from the boy Lauri Markkanen last night against Atlanta Hawks, who are very legitimate. Atlanta Hawks have been doing very well. They're fourth in the East. So the Jazz are absolutely balling out, and I like to see that, and I love to see that my Finnish man is dominating, carrying that team with him. They're very, very they're very coordinated. The Jazz, I can notice that their bench is really, really nice and deep as well. But you can't take that talent away from Lauri Markkanen. I mean, this guy's been doing it all so far. And I'm hyped. And I'm ridiculously hyped. Still sticking in the West, Portland Trail Blazers already have 2 buzzer beaters this season. And they've played so far, let's see, they've played 11 games. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I mean, that just means you had 2 games that you possibly could have lost. So if they never hit those buzzer beaters, then they would be 6-5 right now, which is completely. If they were 6-5, then they'd be 9th seed. Instead, they're 3rd seed right now, which is freaking Ballin. Everybody wants to see Trailblazers doing well. Every year that Damian Lillard stays there and the Trailblazers aren't tanking, I'm happy. And they're 3rd in the West. So they're really, really up there currently. And I hope they keep on balling. I hope Dame time is going to be going on the whole season. Just 2 players that I want to just give out random flowers for, but it's just because they're balling the hell out. Jamal Murray, Denver Nuggets, he's back. He's absolutely back. He is a wizard. I think he does a lot of shit with the basketball that is very similar to Luka Doncic. You don't really know how the fuck he's getting those balls in the basket. He hit a freaking one-handed reverse dunk on 2 defenders the other day. Like, who the hell does some shit like that? Literally, MJ didn't do stuff like that. Different time and era. But I'm just saying, dude, Jamal Murray, he's got that superpower. And he gets that superpower from his girl's superpower when she's on her knees. That's all I gotta say. De'Aaron Fox, he was balling out before when he had the fro. He's balling out harder after the fro. He's hit a buzzer beater. And otherwise, he's just been still carrying the Sacramento Kings like he's been doing his whole career. I wonder if he's ever going to get the hell out of there, or they're going to finally maybe one day build a decent core around him. But I just got to give that shout out to those 2 guys because they're just balling right now. And lastly, this is a little bit more negative, and I kind of don't want to end on negative, but LeBron and the Lakers are still struggling. I know they were struggling before, and it's been a week or 2 now, and they're still struggling. They're currently 2-8. You don't want to see that. You really just don't want to see that. Lakers are a legendary team. You really wonder how the hell they got so bad, considering they were champions 2 years ago. So it's just really, really weird. It's just really, really weird. And it's the same team. I think, they shuffled a lot, but like Anthony Davis is still there. LeBron is still there. Like, what really is the big change that they've made? And Russell Westbrook, I think I talked about him last time, but like Russell Westbrook now playing off the bench has been great. He's been doing great. So I think maybe LeBron has to step up his game, or I don't know, the whole Lakers, they just got to step up the game because nobody likes it when Lakers lose. That's kind of cap because I kind of like it when the Lakers I kind of like it when the Lakers aren't doing well. Especially when the Jazz destroyed them the other day. But yeah, LeBron's legacy is getting fucked with right now, and I don't think it's good for LeBron, at least. And we just gotta see if they can turn it around in LA, and hopefully they can make playoffs. But right now it's looking bad. Anyways, that's all I had for this week. That's all I had. So little. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my takes, my opinions. It's going to be a great weekend. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be enjoying my weekend pretty much like every other weekend too, but a little bit more sports, a little bit more hype built up for this weekend, which I always love. I've been on a freaking, grind this whole week, so it's just going to feel good to sit back, relax, watch some dudes ball the hell out. At what cost? See you guys.